Hey, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken. Today, guys, I have got something very special in the mail from Diabolic DVD is where I pre-ordered this. This is, of course, the second sight 4K release of The Changeling, starring the great legendary George C. Scott. So this is a movie that I've actually never seen before. So I'm so excited to watch this one for the first time. Came out in 1980. And yeah, guys, we're going to watch this movie. First, I'm going to unbox this. What I like to do with the second sight releases, guys, is just make it feel more like a complete experience. So I just got this in. We're going to take the plastic off. We're going to do an unboxing over there at the table. Then I'm going to watch this movie. Then we're going to come back and I'm going to give my thoughts on the movie, the 4K picture quality, and then we're going to talk about the special features and just all that good stuff, guys. But I'm always very excited to get in a new second sight release. And yeah, guys, without further ado, let's get over there to the table and unbox this thing. It looks like a beautiful box set. I can't wait to get into it. All right, so I have removed the plastic. And before we get into this, guys, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We talk about all kinds of physical media here on this channel. Also, be sure to hit that like button. And then let me know in the comment section below if you've seen this classic horror film, The Changeling. What's your thoughts? Are you going to pick up this 4K? Let me know all that in the comment section below. But right away, guys, this artwork is so incredible. I absolutely love it. And you have that the font right there for The Changeling. Then you have the wheelchair at the top of the staircase with the kind of ghostly smoke going around George C. Scott. Again, I don't know any of the context of this movie. I don't really know too much about this at all, except for his family like dies in the very beginning of the movie, and that kind of just sets up the rest of the film. Other than that, I don't really know too much about it. And then we'll look at the spine right here, guys. You got that second sight symbol right there, which is just awesome. I love second sight, guys. They're just turning into just one of my favorite boutique labels. So let's go ahead and remove this J card, and you have the same image underneath. And we'll quickly look at the back of the J card, and I'll show off the... And I hadn't really... see right there, guys. After the tragic loss of his wife and daughter, a New York composer relocates to Seattle in hopes of a fresh start, only to find that his new home harbors a terrible secret. So this is a new 4K scan. We'll go through the specs, and I'm not sure if there's any new special features here. I didn't really dig too much into this release when it was first announced, but I will definitely get into that Severin Blu-ray and see if the special features are similar or if they're all the same, because I would definitely like to know that as well. Limited edition contents right there, guys. Rigid slipcase and new artwork by Christopher Shai. 108-page book with new essays by Martin Contiro, Alexander Heller Nichols, Rich Johnson, Michael J. Coven, and a whole bunch of names, guys. Whole bunch of names. Archive interview with Peter Medic, original soundtrack CD, 5 collector art cards. So great stuff, guys. Second sight is just their quality, guys. Always top tier work with second sight. So let's go ahead and look at the spine again. We'll look at the back. Incredible images on the back right there. Great stuff. Go ahead and take this out of the case. I'm not sure which one's the book here. Let's see what we got. We got the art cards. But first things first, we'll go through this book a little bit. And incredible looking booklet. Like it said, 120 pages in this book. I love the images here. Incredible. Kind of flip through it a little bit. Great stuff. I love how it's not just like a white background, but it's colored like just an old school like book that you find in the library. Really cool stuff, guys. Second sight, just always with the top tier work. Like Severin released this last year, and I think they wanted like $50 or $60 to get it on 4K. And this 4K set right here, ordered from Diabolic, I believe was $45. I don't think that this didn't break the bank. Like it might have been $50, but it was not too bad at all. And like for everything that you get with the second sight releases, like totally worth it in my opinion. And I'm sure it looks great, guys. I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's probably a different scan. Second sight usually does their own scans. But you got the house right there. I cannot wait to watch this. I am watching it tonight, obviously, after this unboxing. Then I'm going to give my thoughts on it. But yeah, just great stuff. Love the art cards and everything. And go ahead and open up this case. You got the disc right here. So this is the CD. So I guess the score of the film is on there. And then you got, I imagine that's his wife maybe, or maybe it's his daughter. I don't know. Open this sucker up and yeah, great stuff, guys. You got a Blu-ray disc that I imagine is region locked or region B because this is a UK release. And then you got the 4K disc right here, which is likely all region and can play on any 4K player. At least I hope so, because I don't have a region-free 4K player. But I love the images on these discs. They're so incredible. We'll go ahead and take the disc out because I think there's some stuff behind it as well. And very excited, guys. But yeah, you get 3 discs. You get the soundtrack, you get a Blu-ray, you get the 4K. So yeah, there's some images back there, guys. Go ahead and flip it over and we'll give you the full look at the back of this case. Great stuff, guys. Like Second Sight is just always top tier, like all around, just great work by them. But let's go ahead, guys, and we'll pop this in. I'm going to watch this 4K, watch this movie for the first time. I am very, very excited to watch this movie. So let's get over there and watch it, and then we'll come back and I'll give my thoughts on the movie and the picture quality, and we'll compare it a little bit to the Severin release. Let's do it. All right, so I just got done watching The Changeling on 4K, and do not be alarmed. I know I had hair before I went to go watch The Changeling. The Changeling did not scare me so much that I lost all my hair. That didn't happen while watching the movie. So I got my hair cut yesterday. So in the time that it took me to watch this, 2 days had passed. I got a haircut. So don't be alarmed. The movie's not that scary. But look, we'll get into my initial thoughts on the actual film. Like I said, this was a first time watch, seeing The Changeling on 4K, and I liked it. Look, I really did like it. I enjoyed the movie, but there's a reason it took me 2 nights to finish. Well, first off, I started the movie very late. It was like midnight, 12:30 when I started it. It didn't captivate me like I was hoping it would, like right out of the gate. Like I thought the opening was very strong, definitely very tragic. I'm not going to get into like the spoilers, but it's kind of the synopsis of the film. But the movie's a very slow burn. It is a very slow burn horror film that does ramp up at a certain point. There are some scares. But overall, like, I don't know, I just didn't get the creep factor of it, like, throughout. Like, there's some other directions that it takes, like, halfway through the movie. And it really kind of becomes more like political intrigue. There's some stuff, like, involving, like, the CEO of a company and his past. And George C. Scott's character's got to dig into his past to, like, help solve the mystery of why the house that he's living in is haunted. And I don't know, I thought that all that stuff, it was well done. Like, the movie's really good. Like, it's a good movie. But it's just not the scariest thing I've ever seen. By the time we get to the end, there's a couple of jump scares and stuff throughout, but I didn't really find anything. I was never really creeped out. It's a haunted house story, and I wanted to be creeped out in the way that a movie that came out the exact same year, The Shining, creeps me out when I watch it. This movie didn't really had that effect on me. But I don't want you all to think that I didn't like the movie. I think it's a very well done movie, and I did like the mystery, and I thought that they paid off the mystery very well. It's a very well constructed story that makes sense and it works. And George C. Scott is phenomenal in the film. Like, he's a great actor. Like, I pretty much enjoyed everything that I've seen George C. Scott in. And I feel like the first movie that I've really watched with him was Dr. Strangelove, which was also directed by Stanley Kubrick, and he plays a very different type of character in that movie. Of course, he's a lot younger, but I've seen Firestarter before I saw Dr. Strangelove, but he's good in Firestarter. He's good in this movie for sure. I definitely want to check out more of his filmography. The score's fantastic in this film. I thought they did a really good job with the score. But yeah, there's some good creepy scenes. There are some good creepy scenes, but overall I didn't love it like I was hoping to. I would still give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I wanted something to scare me, like really scare me. Maybe my expectations were just a little bit too high. And who knows, maybe I'll watch it in 10 years and it'll really dig its claws into me and just creep me out like no other. Maybe I just wasn't in the right frame of mind. I was just expecting something different. And getting into the 4K restoration, I don't want this video to take too long, but I did pop in the Severin release that I had, the Severin Blu-ray. This is not the 4K. and I was trying to see like how big of an upgrade it was from this Blu-ray, and it's a pretty big upgrade. Like it's definitely has more clarity to it. There's more depth in the overall like picture presentation. The HDR definitely enhances some of those colors, some of those textures on some of the clothing and the outfits throughout the film, and just the house itself that they're in. So the HDR actually does do a lot to enhance this movie as far as the picture quality in terms of how it compares to the Blu-ray. Again, I don't know what that Severin 4K looked like, but this is a new 4K scan that Second Sight did, and restoration presented in UHD and HDR. And I thought it looked really good. Now, look, at the beginning of the movie, you got to understand this. This is an over 40-year-old movie, and I'm sure they did their best. Like, I always trust Second Sight. Even when it doesn't look the greatest, it's not the greatest 4K scan, I always trust Second Sight that they did the best that they could with the materials that they had. And there are parts of this movie that look absolutely stunning. I'm sure it's the best this movie has ever looked. But in the beginning, like, it's extremely grainy, like in some of those opening scenes and stuff. I'd say it takes a good 15 minutes to get to some of these like close-up shots inside the house on George C. Scott and some of the other characters, and it really starts to look really pristine and good as far as like the clarity of the picture quality. But I thought it looked really great overall. Like Second Sight, they always do great work in terms of their 4K restoration. So not the best 4K that I've ever seen. There are some very grainy parts to this film. Like if you're a grain hater, you're not gonna like that first 20 minutes. You're gonna be like, what is this? They can't always clean everything up to pristine quality. And I'm sure that they did the best that they could with the change. And I thought it looked really good overall. Like the scenes that stood out really stood out. Like that end with the fire. Again, I'm not trying to spoil anything, so I won't give you any context, but all that looked phenomenal. The house on fire and burning as George C. Scott's trying to get out. All that stuff looked really great. There were some sequences that were very dark that you could make stuff out. Again, it didn't take away from the creep factor of it, but it really looked great with the black levels, and just kind of the contrast was really enhanced to a degree that you could just make everything out. And I imagine like watching this movie on VHS tape like back in the day, and you probably couldn't make out any of that stuff when you were watching back in the day. There's some really dark sequences in the movie in the house. But it looked really great across the board. I thought it looked great. You just got to get through those first like 15, 20 minutes, and then it's a powerhouse 4K transfer the rest of the way. So I thought that the Changeling looked really good on 4K. I think Second Sight did a good job on the restoration. Now, I already did the unboxing, so we talked about the packaging. Audio-wise, you do get the 2.0 mono sound mix. You also get the 5.1. I listened to it mostly with the 5.1. I didn't like the way that the audio sound, the dialogue sound in the 2.0, so I listened to it in the 5.1. I thought everything sounded great. There's a lot of creepy moments, like I said, that didn't necessarily creep me out like I wanted them to, but there's some very effective, like creepy jump scares and stuff throughout the film. I thought the audio was definitely enhanced those moments with the 5.1. So I thought the audio sounded really good. Getting into the special features now, if you have this Severin release and you're expecting a ton of new special features that Second Sight added, you're gonna be disappointed. They do have all these Severin special features in this release, so every single feature that was present on the Severin Blu-ray, and I imagine the Severin 4K as well, is present on this edition, the Second Sight 4K edition. There's also a couple of new features. Now, I don't know if any of these were, maybe these were on the Severin 4K. I'm not sure. Again, I don't have that. But there's a couple of new features that aren't really new, but they're new to physical media, I'm guessing. There's an interview with Peter Medic by filmmaker Adrian Garcia Balingo, probably butchering that name, at Morbido Fest 2018. So this is an interview with Peter Medic, who is the director of the film, who, by the way, did an excellent job directing this film. But this is from 2018, but this is the first time I think this has ever been put on physical media. And it's about an hour and 20 minutes, so it's a really lengthy special feature, one you can definitely dig your teeth into. There's also Exile on Curzon Street, Peter Medic on his early years in swinging London. So there's another interview with him in here as well. So 2 new interviews with Peter Medic. Again, they're not new interviews, but I guess they're new to physical media that Second Sight dug up and put on this release. So overall, guys, look, this really wasn't all that expensive. This was about $45 off a Diabolic DVD, and the packaging's incredible. The artwork's incredible. I think the restoration's really good. I didn't love the movie, but I do think it's a really good movie. And if it's a movie that you do love, I think it's worth, you know, dropping the extra cash on, the extra coin to pick up this incredible release. Like, nobody does packaging. Not even Vinegar Syndrome does packaging like Second Sight. They're super nice in their presentation. They always just do such a good job with their releases. So if you really love the movie, get it. If you don't, I can't fully recommend that you get it. And if you have this Severin Blu-ray, look, this Blu-ray doesn't look terrible. Like, it looks pretty good. So is it a substantial upgrade? I think so at the end of the day, but it doesn't blow the doors off the Blu-ray or anything, so definitely keep that in mind. But thank y'all so much for watching this review of the Changeling on 4K from Second Sight. Leave me a like, leave me a comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We talk physical media here, guys. Blu-rays, 4Ks, owning the movies that you love. If you like that kind of stuff, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.